Netflix, you paying the $5? You paying the $5 for sure.
I ain't paying the $5.
You pay. Lex
Nah,
paying
the
the $5.
office is gone. I ain't paying the $5.
You paying the $5, G?
I got something to say about this, man.
Netflix is increasing their prices.
I'm not mad at
Is
it,
this their
bro.
second or third jump?
The third jump.
This is the third?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Netflix doing that shit, tell you the truth.
Okay. You defend the man. Go ahead.
No, it's not even defending the man. I'm just
defend the man.
I'm just not mad at it.
It just is what it is. It's just like,
Bro, like Netflix, you gotta think about where Netflix is as opposed to the rest of the game. So like Netflix is so much further ahead than the other streaming services that the other streaming services are figuring out a way to lowball the equation, but all while having like, you know, putting a lot of money into like what their individual shows will be or whatever. So I get it. For the time being, it makes sense. But I think Netflix is low key like the staple. I think that will continue to go on, even though it doesn't have like all this new like content, you would say. But I don't.
they still cranking out new shit.
Yeah, but I mean, right now the battle is what with like HBO Max. It's just killing shit right now. What is it? Amazon Prime. I don't know what Amazon Prime has. Apple TV is going to continue to evolve. Even shit. Did you see what Apple has like with the new packages and shit?
I haven't.
They almost make you just do that shit. So Apple has it where they give you, and this was their way of like cornering the market and taking everybody out and shit. They give you a package where, as an individual, you can have Apple Music, Apple TV, Apple Games, and and something else. I
Apple
forgot
TV.
and I think like 50 extra gigabytes or some shit. So they put that into a package, and it's $14.50 or some shit a month. So
What?
That's how they, and then they have that, and then they have like a family plan that's like $19 or some shit. Then they have another one that's like probably like $23.
What is happening to us, y'all?
So it's their way of like cornering that and taking out like completely putting everything into their ecosystem, and they can lowball it because everybody has a fucking Apple phone.
What's happening to us? Seriously. Like the Netflix shit, I'm not mad at it because I understand business, but I'm also just like, bro, we all here. Y'all got everybody. Like, it's not a single. How many people you know that don't have Netflix? And I mean, it went from like, oh man, niggas sharing an account to like everybody I know got either sharing something or got their own situation. Like, it's not a single person I know that isn't using Netflix.
Yeah, for sure.
So again, it's just who was saying that? Bomani was on the flagrant or not flagrant with the podcast with Bonzi Wells and Rasheed Wallace.
And he got one? Oh, that shit's
fire.
Sick.
But they were talking about, nigga, Bomani was essentially saying, no, it's gonna be a tournament. And the reason it's gonna be a tournament because bills got to be paid. Like, money's been promised to people, and everybody gonna do whatever they can within their power to make sure that the show goes on in these sports arenas. And I was like, damn. What we're seeing as far as like economically is like, yo, this shit is crazy because everybody trying to make it work, and the perception of big business, right? When you're playing with that much credit and that much debt, like you can do a lot of shit. Like my own personal learning and like really wanting to understand what resources look like, what wealth looks like, what turnover looks like, what, it's been a mind fuck, especially within the entertainment realm. And I couldn't really make sense of it until they start having that inside the round table sit down with the networks and shit. I bring that up all the time, but it's like Netflix is in the red, bro. Like, I know what they're showing stock market wise and everything, but as far as what the budgets that they're rolling out for these films and these shows, it's like they live in the red, and they can. And so we go, hey, we're gonna up the prices on everybody. And they've cornered the market in that regard. Like everybody that's there ain't gonna like. How many people you think are really gonna cancel their shit on on principle now?
No way.
Not if you already got it.
Not if you already got it. You
They
gonna
say 43% of people once they sign up
stay.
They just free.
Yeah, you just forget it's going.
Yeah.
But you're tapping into it damn near every day.
Bro, you have a 43% retention of a base.
Mm-hmm.
You not tripping. You not afraid of shit. You're not afraid of nothing when you roll out. Yo, we gonna increase our prices by $5, $4.
Well, they said by what was it, 2022, Netflix needed to get to $40 the subscription. Remember when that came out like a year and a half ago?
Like in order to make sense.
To make sense.
As a business model for them.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm getting at, y'all. Who's bankrolling that roll? That's a hell of a rollout. You said 2022?
Yeah, it was like 2022 or 2023.
Netflix been booming since when? We talking like 2011, 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you talk about streaming wise or like
Yeah,
the disc?
streaming has been like
disc is
2010,
probably,
but disc was like 08, 06.
So we're talking
about 10 years.
Talking closer to 12 then, right? At that point.
Overall, yeah.
Yeah, trying to get to that point.
Well, they got Blockbuster up out of here, so that was impressive.
But who's
And Hollywood Video.
Who's bankrolling a company of that magnitude that's going? I don't know. I'm not explaining it right, but my brain goes, if Netflix can live in the red, keep increasing the prices, living in like operating in beta, the iPhone can operate in beta, why the fuck can't maybe I'm personalizing it too. It's like I want that much grace as an entrepreneur trying to figure shit out. Like, fuck with me. Like, let me increase the prices on y'all and retain the people that are there. Maybe what product, what deliverable, what asset do you have to give to retain that sort of grace, to acquire that sort of grace?
Is it with a company like Netflix? They started going in the red after they started producing like a lot of their own shit? Or were they always?
Always. But even acquiring even more debt once you go, yo, we gonna give Ben and them whatever that was, 80 million or whatever that was.
We're gonna give Will Smith that.
And then Dave. And then here, like, we're gonna start investing in ourselves because all of that IP, the lifetime royalty is way more valuable than a little bit of debt. What's a little bit of debt?
But I think that's why they're purging some of the assets that they have, though, in order to make it so that it's more of like a proprietary deal that they have going on. So I think that's why they're getting rid of like the office.
Not
getting rid of
or not being able to afford it.
Well, that too, but like also if you're operating in the red, why am I keeping the office for something that yes you'll keep going to and watching? Yes, that keeps people on there. But if we get rid of that, we can replace that with maybe I don't know, something else that we can produce or can have rights to. Then if we can get people over for that, then that means that we no longer have to.
But they stumbled
re-up
into that.
The amount.
They stumbled into that though.
Oh, completely. But you're always stumbling into these things for this. Like this is freaking like hedge fund people. Like this is people that are just like they have unlimited pockets to play around with different types of ideas.
They got unlimited pockets to play around with different type of ideas. When I'm speaking solely from the creative aspect,
completely,
where it's like, no, nigga, I've known that. That's why I've been trying to produce all this shit out of pocket to retain ownership and then approach it in that regard. But in order to, it's really hard to do. It's really, really hard to do to the podcast between the two of you. Like, even if there was an influx of money, and I'm personalizing this and I'm aware of it too, but I'm saying even if there was an influx of dollars, I still wouldn't be able to afford the two of you for what the value, the lifetime value, the evergreen value of this show is. Just this show. Haven't even start talking about the music yet. Haven't even start talking about the other shit that's just being produced as a whole. So then I'm going, Netflix, holy shit. Special after special, series after series, and then the films, like they're investing in themselves for a play that's not, that even in our lifetime we may not be able to go, oh yeah, they did that shit. And that's the problem as a whole. Like, not it fuck equal opportunity and all the shit that people normally get wrapped up in. It's the terrain to try a bunch of shit, to fail, and to still have an influx of cash to be like, yo, y'all, at y'all base, y'all got 43% of people that's gonna stay because of the shit that y'all do put out. I can roll with that as an investor or as a backer or as an entity, and it's just like, it's just credit. Everything is being done on credit, so it's like I'm back at where I started at. For me, the perception of wealth, like that shit is just coming crumbling down. Like they're not playing with no fucking like liquid money. It's just like, nah, nigga, we're fucking around. Gonna go hide this here, move this here, clean that there, and then just to watch so many people of color have the same sort of mindset and mentality and apply it to other things and not be offered the same grace. And then I watched Trial 4 too, so now I'm really fucked up. Like, I told myself I wasn't watching no more crime specials about the court system being rigged and all this shit. Fell into the trap of that, and it's like, God damn it, man. Like something so minute. It's just it's a small variable, but it's something that resonates throughout, and you're going, yo, I need another, if I could buy another 6 months of just freedom to create whatever I create in that 6 months, what it could be worth in 3 years, what it could be worth in 5 years. Shit, if I can get to 10 years. That's what Dame is talking about, with Dame Dash Productions, what Tyler Perry's been talking about. It's like, yo, I'll be able to reap the benefits. I'll be able to go build an entire fucking studio on Confederate land if I can just have some cash flow to get to make, if this project makes just enough to allow me to make the next one. And then the next one, I'm still in the red though. Technically, I'm still in the breaking even. I'm still in the fucking red because of whatever I shelled out of pocket in the meantime. It's a really small scale in comparison to Netflix, but I'm looking at that going, damn, if they got to up their subscriptions and you go by 2022, they need to get to $40 a month. Oh, they really in the red then, for sure. Like they can't, it's not sustainable.
Completely. I mean, but people of color have to like they would have to like do things way harder than it is for the dominant group. You know what I mean? Like it's unfortunately how the system was put together and is working perfectly fine, where it's not really meant for you to be able to break away from what it is that they have already in hand. But that's the reason why the select few that do it is automatically like, we need to figure out a way to trash them to the people that we're holding down already to make sure that they can't approach our group. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like how it's leveled out. So I definitely get the frustration and all that. You know what I mean? Because that's the system operating exactly how it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like Netflix, they're not going to allow Netflix to fail. Like it's no fucking way they're going to allow that to fail. Only because it created this next wave of everything that's going on right now. Like it was the blueprint for everything that has now had to fall in place with it, but it is the grandfathered in version of that. You know what I mean? So that's why all these pluses are coming out and all these, like, TV has to make an adjustment. I just saw Discovery Plus is coming out now. Like, I just see all these things are, like, shifting, and they were trying to hold steady for the longest before they realized, bro, we are going to go bankrupt fucking around with y'all. Let's move over to the streaming shit. Netflix been there, chilling. So that's the reason why they have this operation. Like they can just, because somebody's going to always put more money into that idea because it was the original concept. All you have to do is work. It has the name brand. Same thing with the iPhone. iPhone has the name brand, bro. Like they have so much of the market. The ecosystem is unbeaten. That shit is bulletproof. They don't have to be the first one to the party introducing something to you.
At all.
Y'all introduce that shit. We are going to take 4 or 5 years before we introduce that into our ecosystem. But best believe we're going to buy the company that's the best at that shit.
Yeah.
When we going to add it to our ecosystem, and y'all ain't never going to break out this motherfucker because this is how, like, we have the standard. You know
these
what
are
I'm saying?
these are the conversations that's being had. Like when we were watching that roundtables at the studios, G, that's what it felt like. It felt like every other
big sit
studio
back.
was like,
Yeah.
we got to know how the fuck you're doing it, and where you how you're, and I guess that's the only reason why the increase is like laughable, because the other studios are panicking because they just can't keep up. But what are you trying to keep up with if they just broke? And they're literally just going, hey, if we can outlast these niggas, we can acquire all this shit. Disney Plus, y'all gonna make it? Are y'all is Disney Plus gonna go, yo, we can keep going, we can go in a red for a decade. We can literally justify being in a red for a decade. Can Disney Plus afford that? And
Disney Plus?
You go, yeah, they can. Nah, they can't. Nah,
No.
they're not gonna play that game.
They already let go employees and some else.
See what I'm saying? See
Oh,
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
they
So you
these
looking
parks
at
are nets right now.
You looking at the networks that are looking at Netflix and looking at Amazon, going, yo, how the fuck are y'all just throwing that much money at the creatives and getting out of their way and not trying to dictate everything? And it's like, nah, they just taking the L on everything and investing in the back end, and the big wigs don't operate like that.
The other thing I think about all the time, Netflix secretly is rich. And the reason I say they're rich is since they've been doing the streaming shit so long, they have so much data on everybody.
That is very important, yeah.
Like they can come up with a completely different marketing company, not under the Netflix name, and be like, this is what you have to do to market to this group of people, and it's going to work.
Well, they already.
I don't want to get killed for saying that.
We out there now.
Yeah.
And so you're right, bro. All this shit is just really, really infuriating in the landscape of the value of money. The money don't have no value for real.
And
The IP is where all the value is, and watching these kids get fucked left and right out of their creativity is just it's the most heartbreaking shit in the world. So
you know money doesn't have value? Just by the deal that HBO did with Warner Brothers. I really feel like, because when, for example, like when a Wonder Woman movie comes out, how much does that gross? They tell us the numbers all the time. 400 million, whatever.
In the
So,
US, yeah.
so now we're just going to put it on HBO Max. We're going to put it in the theaters too. How many people are really going to go to the theaters if it's on
HBO Max?
It's like you're willing to give up that 400 million or whatever the fuck that you make on your drop.
Yeah, but then with the theaters though, they have to though. Like the companies that release these, like that's been a one trick pony that's been working for so damn long. But unfortunately, it just was not pandemic proof. Like if we can ever get out of a pandemic, then hopefully that something like that would come back or whatever. But in the meantime, they're like it's better for us to get what we can from what we've already filmed, and then make adjustments to future like future budgets or like how we're putting shit out or whatever. Let's think about that shit now, because in case we don't know how much longer this is going to be taking place, where individual states are going to have their own rules on gatherings. Like, yeah, we can release it in theaters, but we can release it like in Las Vegas right now, but we can't release it in California.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but California is one of our largest markets. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, fuck, we're cutting so much money on this idea. Listen, we have to. Like, if we don't, then we're about to lose that whole department. And we have so much content in that one department. It's crazy. Let's put that shit somewhere in the meantime, and then figure this shit out afterwards.
What happens when you drop it and you still have to dismantle that department though?
Yeah.
That's the part that niggas can't fuck with Netflix on.
Yeah.
And you keep asking like, yo, what's the formula? What's the formula? And it's just like, yo, bet on IP for and plan on not to make nothing for 5 years. Can you do that? Oh, you can? Can you do it for 10? Can you do it for 15? And they're like, nah, I ain't got that, Playboy.
Yeah, and all the public knows is like, all they know is like their drugs. That's it.
That's
like,
it.
They know that feed my addiction. That's it. At all costs, feed my addiction. But Netflix is low key feeding your addiction without you even knowing that shit. Like, you still go in there and watch them badass movies and badass shows, and while in between waiting for like a Stranger Things or Ozark to come on. You know what I mean? Just because they're more so banking on the fact that your boredom will lead you to this amazing name, because Netflix is an amazing marketing name. And when they did that whole Netflix and chill, it was a wrap. That's like your song going viral on TikTok. Like, you're always gonna be stapled in as being known from how big Netflix and chill was, bro. Like, you're not
breaking the pop culture like
ain't
that.
nobody about to fight that shit. Good luck.
Yeah. Nah, that's
why I find it laughable. My bad. I just find it laughable that folks believe that somehow, some way, Netflix is vying for position with these other companies that are scrambling right now.
No, it's the complete opposite. It's the other way around. Like those companies are vying for that.